Most people think that money solves the question of meaning, that when you have enough, automatically life will feel much more purposeful and meaningful. Well, I'm sure you've noticed that there are lots of wealthy people who feel totally empty inside. And then on the other side, there are people who have very little and they have a deep sense of meaning and purpose in their life. In the meaning game, having money and not having money are not the answers. They're actually mirrors of each other. And with the square process, which was developed by Leslie Temple Thurston and explained in her book, The Marriage of Spirit, we look at polarities that help you define or find your blind spot. And also, I use the 4 areas of our lives, which I call games, mainly just to make it a little bit more lighthearted and evoke curiosity. So we have the meaning game, the relations game, the wealth game, and the energy game. And so in this case, we'll look at money, having money, not having money in relation to the meaning game. So let's get started with the squares. With the square process, as always, we divide a piece of paper or a PowerPoint slide into 4 squares and look at 4 different aspects of a polarity. And in this case, it's I love having money, and we answer the other side as well. I hate having money. And then we answer I love not having money, and I hate not having money. And I use extremes to make it feel more real inside, to help you find where the blind spots are. And so this is a logical process where we answer each of these 4 questions. So let's get started with I love having money. Money gives me freedom to pursue my passions that feel aligned with my purpose. I can fund causes that give my life a sense of higher meaning. People respect me more, which feeds my belief that I matter. Money makes me feel like I've made it, validating my existence. It allows me to avoid meaningless struggles others are stuck in. And I get to define success on my own terms, or at least I pretend to. Now that's answering the question, I love having money. Let's now look at the opposite. I hate having money. Why would that be true? I feel guilty that others suffer while I have abundance. Wealth isolates me. People question my motives or authenticity. Having money creates pressure to do something meaningful with it. It tempts me to confuse net worth with self-worth. I fear losing it all, which erodes my sense of peace. Having money makes me wonder if my purpose is real or just purchased. So that's answering the question why it would be true that I hate having money. Now let's look at why it would be true, why I would love not having money. This might also be one of the blind spots that you find. So why would this be true? Struggle gives me a story. I feel more authentic and relatable. Lack of money makes me hungry for meaning beyond materialism. It reinforces my belief that spirituality and simplicity are more pure. Being broke absolves me from the pressure to change the world with cash. I get connection and sympathy from others. People root for the underdog. It gives me a sense of moral superiority I'm not corrupted by wealth. So now let's look at the last question and answer that. I hate not having money. Lack of money limits my ability to live out my purpose. It forces me to make choices based on survival and not meaning. I can't contribute at the level that I want to, and my impact feels stunted. Poverty breeds resentment when I see others doing what I dream of. It makes me dependent on others, which undermines my dignity. I question whether my higher purpose is just a cover for failure. So here are the answers to all 4 questions. And usually it's in the I hate having money and I love not having money where you might have found your blind spot. The square process reveals that true meaning doesn't come from having money or not having money, and it totally doesn't define your worth. But it helps you define where your blind spots are and allows you to stop them from having a grip on you. And the way you do that is actually by processing those places where you get slightly triggered when it comes to seeing the blind spot. But just seeing it, just becoming aware of your blind spots helps you realize that you don't always have to live in this big duality type of world, but that everything is actually, you can actually bring them together inside of you and have a situation where you're not triggered by having money or not having money, that it has absolutely nothing to do with you and with your self-worth. If this duality landed for you, watch the next video where I take another set of opposing energies or forces or emotions and bring them together to help you define where you have blind spots and bring awareness to your life. My aim with these videos is to help us see that duality, even though we live in a world of duality, it's actually not quite true. We live in a world full of color. It's not just black and white. See you there.